Are you looking for more out of your life? Do you need ideas on how to start new businesses and how to move forward in your own personal life? Well, guess what? You have come to the right radio show. At You Can Overcome Anything podcast show, you will learn and hear from many people from all walks of life who are sharing their challenges, their stories, the habits, and the mind shifts they had to overcome to become who they are today. On top, you will get a chance to connect and see how you can overcome anything by networking and learning about your next move through this radio show. I present to you our great speakers at You Can Overcome Anything podcast show with your host, Cesar Espino. Hello there and welcome back. Is your host Cesar Espino at You Can Overcome Anything podcast show. And today I have a very special guest. His name is very short. Hello, Barry. How are you?
Wonderful, Cesar. Let me wish everybody a beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal beings. All of you out there listening to Cesar, you are all good looking. Now, how can I make the statement that thousands and tens of thousands of people are good looking? I haven't met them. Because if you tuned into Cesar's show, which is You Can Overcome Anything, it means you're always looking for the good. That's
Yes.
the definition of a good-looking person, Cesar.
I love that.
For the good. I am doing wonderfully well. Thank you for asking.
Awesome. Beautiful. I love that. Let me give the viewers and the listeners a little bit of your background so they can get to know you, and then we can dive into this because you have an amazing story. You also have an amazing mission, which I really, really enjoy, and I definitely want to tap into that. So Barry is the ambassador of joy. His mission is to transform the world through joy. He's also a successful serial entrepreneur with 2 X's and 3 issue patents. In September 2004, he became a quadriplegic overnight from a rare disease. His journey to regain mobility pushed him to go mad, which is make a difference. He set out to build a platform to teach people to live in joy daily, no matter the situation. To that, DairyShort.com and the Joy of Living Institute were born. He is also a co-founder of the Keep Smiling movement, which has distributed more than 1 million Keep Smiling cards for free. And he has a radio show and a podcast. And you actually like to swim too, which is pretty awesome. You've accumulated more than 7,223 miles over the last 12 years in swimming, which is amazing.
Cesar, are you a swimmer?
You know what? I'm gonna have to be now. I'm not. I'm gonna have to be now.
Okay, well, swimming, in my humble opinion, is best exercise. So everybody out there, you heard some of what Cesar mentioned. Part of the reason I swim is because I can barely walk, but it doesn't matter. Yeah. I swim, and I now swim 2 miles a day, 6 days a week, and I've been doing that for a dozen years. And
wow.
Again, as Cesar mentioned, I'll go just shortcut the story.
Yeah.
I was standing up in the morning like I hope 99.99% of everybody watching, thousands and thousands of people watching, everybody healthy, right? Yep. Just like you, standing up in the morning, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. And in the evening, I was in the hospital, paralyzed from my neck down.
Wow.
A quadriplegic means you can't move thing in your body, and it was not from an automobile accident. It was not a spinal injury. It was a rare neurological disease that made me completely paralyzed. I was in a hospital for many months. I was in a hospital bed in my own home for 2 years. I couldn't turn over by myself. I was in a wheelchair for 4 years. I had braces on both my legs, my hips to my ankles, and that was progress.
Yeah.
But today, thank God, I am vertical and ambulatory. I use a 6.5-foot walking wand made for me by a Zen master. So I'm a triped, not a biped. And I still can't walk up a stair by myself or a curb. And I have help 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, Cesar. But you hear my voice, right?
Yeah.
Positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant. And that's what we live for, Cesar, you and me. Not just overcoming anything and everything, but to bring that dynamic to people and give them the strength to know everybody can do this. You
Yeah.
can become the best you possible.
Yeah, I love that, and the fact that you have this mission to transform, the world through joy, and really just talk about, like, I like the acronym MAD, make a difference. Like, I never seen that from that perspective, and you're making a difference, right? And so even going through this rare, disease overnight, not even expecting that, like the one thing that comes to mind is I see you now, yet at that moment, at that time, what was going through your head? Like, a lot of people sometimes will probably just give up at that moment, or don't have the will or the aptitude to continue to move forward. What was going through your mind that you needed to start shifting, whatever thoughts you had?
So first of all, thank you for Cesar's looking at me and saying, "Oh, the remarkably handsome fellow that I'm looking at happens to have a beautiful tan." Chronologically, I'm 72, by the way.
You look great.
Okay, 72 chronologically. Metabolically, I'm 48 because I swim 2 miles a day, 6 days a week. Mentally, I'm 28 because I hang around a lot of people like you, sharp and doing business and such. And my SOW is 8. Now you say, wait a minute, SOW, what's an SOW? Sense of wonder.
I love that.
My sense of wonder is an 8-year-old, because when you do that, you can really learn how to live in life. So Cesar asked me the question, okay, Barry Shore, it's very nice to say all this stuff because you're sort of moving around now, but what happened when it first happened? What were you thinking about? So I can tell you, Cesar, I've been very blessed in my life. Wonderful parents, 2 wonderful sisters who are both younger than I am. And I had been working on and working with a very difficult person in my life for about 30 plus years. And through helping out this person, I became better. And you know who that person is that I've been working with over 30 years, who was really in tough shape?
Yourself.
Me!
Yeah.
So when this occurred, I now was able to walk my talk, right? You know about that. So I live with 3 fundamentals, and I share it with everybody, and I share with you, Cesar, and everybody listening, because thank God Cesar has thousands of people that are listening to this, and he encourages everybody to share this with other people. So everybody shares this with 5 people. That means we'll have 25,000 people watching and listening. So the 3 fundamentals of life are, number 1, your life has purpose. Once you recognize your life has purpose, the result of that is, yes, you can go mad. And MAD, as we said, is a great acronym. We'll be working with a lot of acronyms throughout the show. MAD stands for make a difference. When you have purpose in your life, every single person can make a difference in the world. You don't have to be Mother Teresa, or you don't have to be the President of the United States. Everybody can make a difference. By how? Number 3, unlocking the secrets and the power of everyday words and terms. Now, let's take a simple example. Right now, we are speaking over something called Zoom, right?
Yep.
And Zoom is an internet place. So if you ask anybody, what does www stand for? Invariably, they'll say to you, well, it has something to do with the internet, right? www. Well, that's true, factually speaking. But in our world, Cesar, the world of the positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant, www stands for, drum roll, fanfare, da-da, da-da. What a wonderful world.
I love it.
Whata is a word, W-H-A-T-A, whata. What a wonderful world. Now that song, everybody knows, thanks to Satchmo, Louis Armstrong, went viral around the world, touches hundreds of millions, not billions of people, right? So whenever you hear that word, what do you do right away? You hear the word, even the opening part, just smile, just like Cesar.
Yeah,
right
you
now.
just smile, like you're embracing, yeah.
So smile is spelled, I'll hold it up for the people watching, S-M-I-L-E. Everybody knows that, smile. But smile is also an acronym, and it's one of the most powerful acronyms you'll ever learn. If we do nothing throughout the whole show, and you should do some more stuff, remember this, because this will help change your life for the better. Ready? SMILE stands for seeing miracles in life every day.
Wow. Yeah.
Seeing miracles in life every day. When you can learn to see miracles in your life every day, then life becomes miraculous. Now, I got to tell you something. Whether I'm speaking to 50 people or in this case, 5,000 people, same question. Everybody raise their hands, say, but Mr. Shore, I've been up for hours already. I haven't seen any miracles. And I asked them, are you here? Can you hear? Can you see? Do you have water to drink? Do you have food to eat? Do you have a place to sleep? Do you have family? Do you have friends? Those are all miracles. And when you begin to understand and see life as miraculous, then your whole being changes because your outlook changes, right? The outlook comes from the inside. It's an inside job. That's what happiness is. It's an inside job. So watch this. What's one of the proofs of miracles? 1 million plus people didn't get out of bed today, Cesar. They died. Wow. Everybody watching and listening, you didn't die. Okay, good start. Now we're in the midst of pandemic, right? Right now, 2020. People will be listening to the show for decades to come, maybe even centuries. But right now in 2020, there's a pandemic around the world. 1 million plus people can't get out of bed. They're infirm. They're struck with this disease, right? You didn't. Be happy. Now, Barry Shore can honestly talk about this because for years, Cesar, I couldn't get out of bed.
Yeah.
And even today, it still takes me 10 minutes to be able to get out of bed. I don't just open my eyes and say thank you and just get out of bed and go, ah! I'd like to. Maybe it'll happen someday, but right now it doesn't. And that's 15 years into the gig. But guess what? I can get out of bed, and I couldn't do that for years. Now, I have to share with you a great story, though. 2 weeks ago, my 8-year-old niece comes over to me and asks me, says, Uncle Barry, can we spell smile S-M-I-E-L? I thought about it. Smile, why not? I asked her, how come? She says, because then it would stand for seeing miracles in everyday life. 8-year-old out of the mouth of babes. So the ability to change your vision, to learn how to see, to open your eyes to the stuff that's around you and not go pity party. That makes the difference in life. So these 3 fundamentals, life, your life, Cesar, has purpose. The result of that is you can go mad. You can go make a difference. And the way of doing that is unlocking the secrets and the power of everyday words and terms like WWW, like smile, like wow. Wow is words of wisdom, words of wonder. And we'll discuss some more as we go along. But this is the way to do that. When you begin to energize yourself and you begin to listen to what's going on around you, the world becomes WWW. What a wonderful world. Listen, by the way, is a great acronym. You ready?
Yeah.
Listen stands for locating, insightful, sustainable, thoughtful energy.
Wow. That's amazing. That is amazing. Barry, I got to tell you, I love that. And one thing that you mentioned that I think is so critical, and I'm glad you mentioned it, because I think a lot of times we forget, right? And you're right. If you're watching this, you're listening to this, you're looking at this right now, the fact that we get to do that, the fact that we have the opportunity to do that, I always say that that's a blessing. It's a blessing in itself, right? And sometimes we forget about those little things, right? Because like you said, some people are not getting up. Some people, unfortunately, are passing because that was, what happened at that moment. Yet if you're still watching and you're still listening, you're still, have somebody speaking to you, that's a blessing in itself. So I really enjoy that. The other thing too that you talked about is you're not you never allowed, or you didn't allow, more or less, the circumstances, or what I always call the society, or what's going on in the world, or the politics, or whatever the case may be. You don't allow any of that to take away the opportunity, right? I always say, don't allow the circumstances to take away the opportunity. Don't allow the fear to take away the opportunity. And for you, whether it took you, a week or 2 or a month or a couple of years to come out of, what happened to you, you still did. You didn't allow that to take the best of you, which I think is very critical and is very important for people to see, right? And so going through that in your experience, what were some of the things you were doing to get you very motivated, very positive? Because I know it can be very hard going through things like that. I can only imagine, right?
Yes, it is. And yes, that's the opportunity. And yes, because I'm speaking to you now, I'm glad to be able to say and share with other people. So let's look at some fundamentals. One of the most important things to understand about life is you're alive. Now, we're going to be using a lot of four-letter words. So I want everybody to be aware. I'm warning you in advance. I use four-letter words. And I even use the four-letter FU word, Cesar. And I do it because of the shock value, and it's fun. So the four-letter words that we use, though, Cesar, are love, life, give, grow, help, hope, holy, life. Those are four-letter words. Those are the ones we focus on because everybody has a brain. But here's interesting about the brain. You have 50 billion brain cells. You're a billionaire. 50 billion brain cells. And you have a trillion synapses. A synapse is the connecting material for the brain cells. So you have 50 billion brain cells, a trillion synapses connecting them, and they're more there to just to decide what kind of latte you want today. So when you have the brain power, you can decide. I'm going to give you 6 words, Cesar, that I hope you not only remember, but everybody watching remembers, and it remembers for the rest of their lives. Ready for the 6 words?
Yep.
And they are: choice, not chance, determines your destiny. Choice, not chance, determines your destiny. Wow. What do we mean by that? Let's take an example. You say, look, Barry Shore. Barry Shore is laying in a bed, completely paralyzed. I'm going to urge people to do the following. Cesar, I urge you to do this tonight before you go to sleep, but you can only do it for 8 seconds or else you go crazy. Ready?
Got you. Yep.
8 seconds. You're going to lie down on your back. You're going to stretch out. And for 8 seconds, here's what you're going to do. You're going to talk to your toes, and they won't move. You're going to talk to your legs, and they won't move. You're going to talk to your hands. They won't move. You can talk to your shoulders. They won't move. You can talk to your neck, and it won't move left or right. Nothing on your body moves. And do that for 8 seconds. And then think, that's how Barry Shore was for years. Now, what do I do with that time? By the way, time is a great acronym. Thoughtful insights, meaningfully expressed. What do you do with that time? You use your brain and your mind to create the kind of world we all want to live in. Because this show, by the way, really is only about one thing. It's not about Cesar. It's not about Barry. The show is only about you. Y-O-U, E-W-E. You're the best you possible. That's why Cesar's doing this. Does he have time to do this? Yes, because he cares about you. He doesn't care about Cesar. Does Barry Shore do this because he cares about Barry Shore? No. I do, but the result is we want you to be the best you, because when you're the best you create the kind of world we all want to live in, right? CREATE is a wonderful acronym. It stands for causing rethinking, enabling all to excel. Causing rethinking, enabling all to excel. So when you use those 4-letter words, you're creating the kind of world we want to live in. You're connecting your thoughts, your words, and your deeds. Love, live, give, hope, grow. And then, of course, the 4-letter FU word, fun. Fun? Wait a minute. Barry Shore, fun spelled 3 letters. Not in our world. Remember, our world is the word positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant. Fun in our world is spelled F-U, capital N, capital N. So when you see people later today and you're walking down the street, you're going to visit your family, you point this finger at them, have a big smile on your face, say, everybody, F you, everybody. But remember to add right away, capital N, capital N. Say, what are you talking? Where'd you get that?
Yeah.
I listened to Cesar. He told me, F you.
Yeah.
Capital. So you got to have fun, right?
Yeah.
Remember, smile, seeing miracles in life every day. So the real key here is integrating what you think, what you speak, and what you do. Because as we said, choice, not chance, determines your destiny. So I'd like to share, if I may, an exercise that I urge everybody to do. And if you do this 3 times a day, consciously and conscientiously for the rest of your life, you will change the world. You'll change the world for the better. You will go mad and you'll say, I got to call Cesar and tell him how much I appreciate him. got to tell people, I appreciate you. It's one of the strategies, by the way. If I may be so bold, may I mention my website?
Yeah, please.
Okay, www, remember what that stands for? What a wonderful world. BarryShore.com, BarryShore, BarryShore.com. First of all, there's some free gifts there. It's a wonderful free gift that is called the stress test, because we live in a world today that the most common used word for the past 2 months was not outside of COVID and that kind of stuff. The most commonly used word, Cesar, is stress.
Stress.
Everybody's under stress, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Stress kills. Joy heals. So watch this. If you go to the website, BarryShore.com, you can take for free what color is your stress. And we'll tell you. You'll learn it right there. Then you get for free a whole description of it. And you'll get a PDF that tells you about the 11 strategies for learning how to live in joy daily for free. So we're here to serve, right? That's our mission in life. So good.
Yep.
We transform the world through not joy, but joy. Okay. So I'm going to go back now. If you learn these 2 words and you use them consciously and conscientiously 3 times a day for the rest of your life, you will change the world for the better, because you're going to change yourself. You'll be connecting your thoughts, your words, your deeds. And these 2 words are, drum roll, fanfare, da-da, da-da. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Thank is a wonderful acronym. It stands for to harmonize and network kindness. To harmonize and network kindness. The Dalai Lama has been quoted as saying, I'd read in his writings, be kind whenever possible. And it's always possible.
Wow. Yeah.
So, thank you. So here's an example. You go into the coffee shop, your fancy coffee shop, and you order your fancy latte for $5.25, right? And you sit down in good times, and they bring it to you. So you say, thank you. Go into the coffee shop, and you order your latte, fancy latte, $5.25, and guess what? They don't bring it to you. So you go back up to the counter, and they say, oh, I'm sorry, we forgot. We'll bring it to you a few minutes later. They bring it to you a few minutes later, goes by, still say, thank you.
Thank you.
You're walking out of the coffee shop and it's raining out and somebody holds the door open for you. What do you say? Thank you.
Thank you.
You're walking out of the coffee shop and it's raining out and somebody slams the door on you, Cesar. What do you say?
Thank you.
Thank you. You're in traffic and you're late for an appointment. Somebody cuts you off. What do you say? Thank you. You get up in the middle of the night and you stub your toe and it hurts. What do you say? Thank you. When you can learn to harmonize and network kindness, saying thank you consciously and conscientiously 3 times a day, and you do this for the rest of your life, you will go mad.
Yeah.
Difference.
You definitely will make a difference. And, I love these acronyms. I never saw it that way, except one thing that you're blowing off my mind. Like, I love this stuff because here's the thing. A lot of times it's all about changing the frame, changing the way you see things, changing the words, just even thinking about thank you. And sometimes you don't even see it, but I love that, to harmonize and network with kindness, right? Like that by itself is, you're changing that frame. You're changing the way you see things, right? And if we were to do this every day in our lives, just use any of the things that we talked about right now, is like, wow, like that's amazing. Like instead of me getting mad, like, hold on. Words of wisdom, words of wonders. Like, again, that's amazing, right? So I really love that. And I think, for those that are watching us and are listening, you definitely have to take down and write down all of these different words and acronyms, because they do have a meaning. I'm looking at that and it's like, it's very, very, very good to change your state of mind, your framing. Talking about even, coming out of your coffee shop for that example, right? And it's raining or they slam the door on you and you just say thank you, and you change the physiology of that, the way you say it. it doesn't matter if it's raining or not. It doesn't matter if somebody slammed the door on you. The positive comes into play, and you see things differently. It's just you're all happy. Like, it doesn't matter what is happening in the outer world when you're taking care of your inner world, right? And so I love that. I really, really, really love that. So definitely, one thing that I'm curious to know is you have a lot of great words, a lot of wisdom. What are some of the things that you do on a day-to-day basis, besides saying thank you, or some of the things that we talked about right now, that you do on a daily basis to continue to stay with a positive mindset?
Good. So let's talk about, I'll tell you what I do, and if people want to follow and listen to it, that's great. So the moment I open my eyes, the first words that come to me and that I say are, thank you. Now, I've been doing this for years, so my physiology has changed.
Yeah.
My mind. Remember, what we're doing is you're connecting your thoughts, your words, and your deeds. I'm going to share with you an idea, and then we'll tell you something. Words are some of the most important aspects of your life, because speech is the vessel that channels blessing into the world. And as a conscientious person, I try with all of my faculties to continually dispense blessing. You want to become not just blessed, which means fine, you have family, you have money, you have good health. That's being blessed. What you really want to do is to become a blessing. Speech is the vessel that channels blessing into the world. So my first words out of my mouth are, thank you. Now, I work on the ability to move my body. As I said, it still takes me 10 minutes to get to pick myself up and get out of bed. Most people, it takes about 38 seconds. So here's something else that I share with people. The two most important parts of your day are when you go to sleep and when you rise up from sleep. So let's go back to the beginning part, which is when you go to sleep. It is, in my humble opinion, crucial, Cesar, that three things happen before you go to sleep. Number one, try not to eat at least 2 hours before going to sleep. 3 is better, but 2 minimum. 2, don't eat. Number 2 is go to sleep and make sure that you're going to get up before 6 a.m. the next morning. Now, for some people, that's really tough. They say, but I'm not a morning person. We'll discuss that in another show. Because you are who you are, because you choose. Choice, not chance, determines your destiny. So you want to get it before 6 a.m. I don't care if it's 5:59 or if it's 5:01. That's your choice. But the point is, before 6 a.m., you get up. Your eyes open, say thank you. For some people, that means you have to start going to bed before midnight. Now, for some people, that means, wait a minute, I don't want to go to bed that early. I'm missing out on stuff.
Yeah.
If you want to live with life, meaning living inspirationally for eternity, that's life, then please treat yourself well. Get a minimum of 7 hours sleep, a minimum. If you really want to be healthy, wealthy, and wise. Healthy, wealth, and wise. If you don't want to be either of those things, you don't have to listen to me. But if you want to be healthy, wealthy, and wise, minimum 7 hours sleep. So that's number 2, is making sure that you don't eat, hopefully don't drink before at least 2 hours before going to sleep. And number 3, and this is the most difficult one in today's world. Ready? Minimum of 1 hour before going to sleep, and it's tougher for me too. I admit, I have to work on this. Don't look at the screen. That means a big screen.
Or a small screen.
A little rectangle. That means an iPad. Now, you may have to do this by stages. You may have to do it first 15 minutes before going to sleep, then 30 minutes. But if you truly care about yourself and you want to be healthier, wealthier and wiser. And by the way, I've done seminars around the world for many, many years. Whenever I ask people this question, you ready, Cesar?
Mm-hmm.
I ask people, raise your hand. How many people in the audience want to be mediocre? Raise your hand if you want to be mediocre.
Yeah.
Nobody raises their hand.
Right.
If you truly want to be healthier, wealthier, and wiser, follow these rules, simple rules. No eating or drinking 2 hours before going to sleep. Get a minimum of 7 hours and get up before 6 a.m. It can be 5:59. I don't care. We can work on it. I'll show you a structure, how to do it and get even better over time. And number 3, don't look at any stimuli from a screen for an hour before going to sleep. And start with 15 minutes. That's all. And on the other end, getting up, first thing out of your mind, out of your mouth, and in your body, like you said, physiologically, thank you. And if you want to do it like I do, I sing.
Oh, yeah.
I don't just say thank you. I say thank you. And then I say these letters, A, B, C.
A, B, C.
Abundance, bountiful, channeling of good. Because that's my life.
Yeah.
Life is about abundance, bountiful, channeling of good. How's that for recipe for success?
That, that is definitely the right ingredients. I definitely can see that. And I love that. I mean, definitely so much great tips that, we can start doing on a day-to-day basis. I'm already going to do some of the things that you talked about today because I see it. I can see how that will be very critical for me, like even working through my journey of just kind of like that self-development, becoming that full-time entrepreneur, going through that journey, I realized that I had to do a couple of things for me. And I forget who said this. I think it was Jim Rohn that said, for things to change, you have to change. And so I started changing, how I speak, what do I watch? What do I listen to? What do I read? My physiology, like there were so many different components. It's not just one thing. There's multiple things. And I'm still working through those things, like having this podcast to be able to talk to people like you, because at the end of the day, this is good for the people that are listening. And it also is good for me, right? Is overall, everybody is taking something away from this because we have people that have a lot more experience, people that can really talk, and walk the walk or like that saying where you have people from all walks of life giving you those nuggets, right? Like you are. So, definitely I respect your time and I can definitely go on these topics forever. However, before I let you go, I do have a couple more questions for you. Let's talk about your mission, right? In terms of the mission of joy, being the ambassador of joy. Like I want to talk about that. And I also want to talk about the, Keep Smiling movement.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, because they're intertwined.
Okay.
Well, very simple. I think most everybody on the planet today, if you have a brain and you've been reading anything, everybody knows about something called DNA, right?
Mm-hmm.
We all have DNA.
Yeah.
Interesting enough, every single human being who ever lived, all the billions of people who came before you, Cesar, and all the billions of people on the planet right now, and all the billions of people who will ever live, all have DNA, which has only 4 components. There are only 4 enzymes in DNA. They're called ATCG. Those are the letters that talk about the enzymes. Everybody, that's all you have. Combination of those 4. Nobody's different. That's on the physiological level. On the spiritual level, we also have something called DNA, spiritual DNA. It's also 4. And those letters are JHPL. And they stand for joy, happiness, peace, and love. When you begin to understand that your DNA, your spiritual DNA, which is far more powerful than even your physical DNA, because it will determine choice, not chance, determines your destiny. Your spiritual DNA is what drives you to be the real you. The physical being on the outside may change over time,
Mm-hmm.
Everybody ages. Everybody wants to be 100 years old. They just don't want to be wrinkly. They want to be 100 years old
Yeah.
as they were at 20.
Yeah.
Okay, that doesn't happen. But beside the point, it's the mindset. You can be 100 years young. I swim, by the way. We mentioned before. I swim with a woman who's 107.
Wow.
And she's a wow, because when she sees me, she first of all remembers my name. I don't do that sometimes. And she says, Barry, sing me a song, which I do. That's another story. Okay, so we have JHPL. You have your physical. Now, it happens to be that I'm blessed. Almost 2 decades ago, Cesar, I received in the mail from a dear friend of mine who's a rabbi from New York. Isn't that amazing? A rabbi in New York. And he sent me a card, one card that read, keep smiling. And on the back of the card, it read the value of a smile, a number of sentences. I liked it so much, I called him up, I said, this is wonderful. May I make copies and give them out? And he said to me, why do you think I sent it to you? So I'll make the story short, but I copied 100. Then I went to my printer, my friend, I asked him, Danny, can you print 1,000? And I gave those out over 3 months. And then I said, let's do 10,000. And not only did I give them out, but other people started giving out. And then we went for 100,000. And right now, actually, as we speak, we are just shy of giving out over just under 2 million Keep Smiling cards in under 20 years in 27 languages. And they make a difference. This is why I go mad. Because, and Cesar, when you get them in the mail, which you're going to give me a physical address, you'll get them. When you start giving these out, you change the dynamic, as you said so brilliantly. You start reframing the conversation. People go from having a good day or a great day. Well, now with the Keep Smiling card, every day is a great day. These cards save people from committing suicide. They help marriages. They keep people young. The Keep Smiling movement is so powerful. It goes around the world. It's at 27 different languages. And right now, they're free. So if you want the physical cards, just go to my website, barryshore.com, and I'll send them to you. You just have to pay for postage. In today's world, what you can also do is you can go to my website, barryshore.com, click on the Keep Smiling button. It will take you to the site where you can send people Keep Smiling cards and in many languages for free by email. We have thousands of cards going out every single day, Cesar, around the world. And we have cards that read something like this. You ready? Everyone you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about. Be kind always.
Yeah.
Did I tell you today how much I appreciate you? That's another card.
Yeah.
So the Keep Smiling movement is all about positive, purposeful, powerful, pleasant words and terms, which enables you to live life with a purpose and go mad. Go make a difference.
Yeah. Wow. No, and again, hold on. Words of wisdom, and definitely those are words of wisdom. And
seeing miracles in life every day.
It's beautiful. Yeah, it's so beautiful. And you just triggered something. And I remember too, like sometimes even when you're walking or you're going to the store and you see somebody else, like again, sometimes, you don't know what the other person's going through. So why not be kind? Why not just give them a sense of gratitude or something? Smile at them. Sometimes just smiling at somebody can make a big difference because, again, you don't know what's going on through their mind. And I know for a fact, because I done that, I'll give you a quick story. I went to Home Depot. We're in almost in the same town. So it was here in the Midwest. And I went to Home Depot or Lowe's, one of those two. And there was people on the aisle, and I was walking on the aisle looking for some stuff, and I saw a person, and I just, it was early in the morning. They had just opened the store, and I said, "Hi, good morning. How are you?" And I just said that to one person, and this guy looked at me like, "What's up with this guy?" kind of thing. And I went on, and then there was another person, and I said the same thing. "Hi, good morning. How are you?" And they looked at me, and then right away you can see they change their way of looking at me. They kind of smile, and they even asked me, "Do you work here?" I'm like, "No." I was like, "Then why are you so happy?" And I said, "You know what? That's me. I want to be happy. I choose to be happy." And that change, I know for a fact that changed that person because I got him to think, well, one, if I don't work here, why am I always so happy or act like I'm happy by greeting this person? Because sometimes we even forget to greet people, to even say hi or good morning or good afternoon, whatever the case may be, right? So it definitely can make a big difference when you're making that change and really embracing and embodying the positivity throughout, right? So I love your mission. Yeah, definitely. I really, really love your mission. I have, you mentioned something here, and I want to just kind of get your last thoughts on this. And you said you can reduce your stress in a fast, fun, F-U-N-N, capital N-N, fun, easy way. What does that mean? So you can reduce your stress in a fast, fun, easy way.
Okay, let's focus on stress for the moment.
Yep.
So put on your seatbelt, kid. Stress kills. Joy heals. Let's take a look at stress. This word is an amazing acronym. Are you ready? We have a few minutes for this?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Stress stands for stomach turning reality, enabling self-sabotage. Oh,
wow.
Look what just happened. Lost my job. My wife walked out. My husband walked out. This one's happened. This, don't you know what's going on? The world is falling apart. Everything is down. Oh, I can't take it. Stomach turning reality, enabling self-sabotage. If you let circumstances run your world. Mm-hmm. Let's take a look at the other way of looking at stress. You ready? Mm-hmm. Stomach turning reality, same situation, enabling self-success. Mm. What do you do when you can't pay the rent, your husband walks out, your kids did this is happening, all of a sudden, circumstances like you can't believe. Barry Shore, standing up in the morning, fully healthy, in the evening, completely paralyzed. What do you do? Is it self-sabotage or self-success? I have been blessed, wonderful Cesar, with the ability to learn, research, and bring out to the world 11 strategies for learning how to live in joy daily, under all circumstances and all vicissitudes. When you take the test, free test, what color is your stress at barryshore.com, free. You will learn what your color is. Whatever the color is, you'll be able to reduce, mitigate, maybe even eliminate stress in your life by utilizing these easy, fun, capital F-U-N-N, F-U, everybody, fun strategies. That's what they're there for. This is my purpose in life, to serve, to reduce, mitigate, even eliminate stress, because it kills, Cesar. Stress is the hub of the wheel that causes high blood pressure, anxiety, depression, skin ailments, heart problems, sleeplessness, all of the things that they come from stress. Mm-hmm. And you can learn to work with them. Go to barryshore.com. It's all there. Yeah. I lived through it. I've been there. I know how to make sure that joy heals you.
Yeah. No, I love that. And that's definitely a good way to put this into perspective. Again, if you're watching this, if you're listening to this, please make sure that you check out Barry at his website. Definitely check him out. And then just, go back and listen to this, because I already, there's so many different acronyms and so much knowledge and words of wisdom, so much wow factor in here that definitely you want to be able to go back and re-listen to this and just take note on that. So
and
Barry,
one other place, by the way, they can go to we just began a Facebook group called The Joy of Living.
Nice. Love it.
Again, all kinds of free situations. We're here to serve. Facebook group, The Joy of Living.
Yeah, I love it. Is there any other places that they can find you besides that Facebook and your website where people can connect with you?
All you have to do is open their eyes and have a big smile on their face, and they'll find me somehow.
Awesome. Okay, good.
Those are the two best places. We have people from all over the world utilizing Barry Shore's strategies and principles, because one reason: they'll make you healthier, wealthier, and wiser. And who doesn't want that?
Yeah, Definitely. Barry, I really had a great time speaking to you, and I'm so glad that you came on the show today in sharing all of your knowledge. And so thank you so much for being here today.
May I leave everybody with a blessing?
Yes, definitely.
Our blessing to you. Go forth. Live the blessing. Spread the seeds of joy, happiness, peace, and love. Go mad. Go make a difference.
I love it. I love it. Barry, thank you so much again. Thank you so much for being here. And for the rest of you guys, please make sure you check out this podcast. Please make sure you come out and leave some comments. Check out Barry and make sure that you share this. A lot of people need to listen to this. This is definitely a great message that if we can spread this all over, we can change one person. If we can change one person and multiply that time after time, we're making a big difference. So again, thank you so much for tuning in to You Can Overcome Anything podcast show. Stay tuned for the next episodes. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Adios.
Hi, I'm Cesar Espino, real estate investor, business coach, and consultant, and author of the book, You Can Overcome Anything, Even When the World Says No. My number is 424-501-6046. In my book, I talk about making the necessary changes to shift your mind for prosperity and certainty. Pick up your copy at Amazon. I also love helping families with their real estate and can purchase your house fast and all cash. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. My number is 424-501-6046.
Thank you for having me today. I am so glad you tuned in to this podcast. You can find me at Spreaker.com, where you can like and subscribe. And to learn more about myself and my services, you can find me at www.cesarrespino.com, or you can also find me at Facebook under Cesar R. Espino. Once again, thanks for joining me. I am looking forward to having you at the next episode, and know that you truly can overcome anything.